Thank you, Leon. I think you've probably heard most of this the first time around. We'll just look at some of the epidemiology of acute rheumatic fever, scabies, initiatives to reduce the burden of disease. You probably realise that I don't agree with many of them. Links between the two diseases I think we've covered. So, in actual fact, just recently there's been a slight reduction in terms of rheumatic fever. This is hospitalisation notifications, which maybe, I know Cooks is blaming New Zealand for the scabies cases. I'm thinking maybe that the COVID, the reduction in travel may be related to reduction in rheumatic fever cases. But as you can see, it's the ethnicity that we see in terms of our acute rheumatic fever cases are all Pacific and Northern. And in terms of Pacific, the two major ethnic groups are obviously Samoan and Tongan, and a little bit of Cook Island, Northern. And this is the age distribution, which I think is common to just about every country that I've seen, with a peak between 10 to 14 years. And in terms of initiatives, I think I've shown this slide where between 2012 and 2017 there was a big initiative around the country in poorer parts of Auckland, also in all the high rheumatic fever areas, to give early treatment with amoxil. And unfortunately, as you can see, the incidence of acute rheumatic fever hasn't declined. The last echo study I could find was done in Pacific people in South Auckland. Through a primary health provider, and the prevalence was actually extremely high, 4.5%. Many of them borderline cases. So scabies, we've done. I'm glad to say that we've done the first prevalence study for the last 40 years. So we use the IACS criteria. Hopefully Lucia will talk about that tomorrow, where we're not just looking for burrows and mites, we're looking for papules in association with some symptoms, mainly itch. We only got to see 181 kids in 3 years. It's a tough time doing research in New Zealand. Compared to Tonga, where we in one day saw 400 kids. We also, as I pointed out we also looked at PCR thanks to Cello in Queensland. Many children were misdiagnosed and treated with steroid and calamine lotion. We were able to see that particularly with the PCR. So we recruited, the nature of the study was to focus on, it was a stratified survey, so we focused on childcare centres and schools, just because they're easy to perform a survey in, much easier to get into the childcare centres than the schools. And this is a summary of the results. So our total population is proportional to the area of the outside square or rectangle. A very high proportion of scabies. So those are typical or atypical lesions, which are basically papules. The ones that fulfill the criteria are around about 10%. With a combination of the history symptoms, we had a proportion that were PCR positive, about 10 to 15%, and quite a proportion that were PCR positive that were on either steroids or other antipyretic. So in the most deprived areas, so these are the poorer areas, we had a prevalence of around 20%, compared to a much more heterogeneous prevalence in wealthier areas. In terms of ethnicity, Pacific overall was 16%, 30% in Samoan, 18% in Thailand, 17% in Maori, 17% in European, which surprised me. I think that's probably because the European kids mainly attending Pacific childcare centres. And very few cases in South Asian or Southeast Asian. So the headline really was overall prevalence of about 13%. About 12% or 23%, so we had lesions suspected of scabies. What's happening in terms of health promotion? Well, it's all basically along the traditional lines of handing out antibiotics early. So here's some of the promotional material. I don't think I'll in the interest of time, I won't play the YouTube clip.
This started with a sore throat.
When Tristan was rushed to hospital, I felt scared.
They said he had rheumatic fever.
I had open heart surgery.
We thought we were gonna lose him. We didn't know the sore throat can cause heart damage.
Sore throats can lead to rheumatic fever and heart damage. If your child has a sore throat, call Healthline on 0800 611 1116 for advice.
Okay, so I guess you get the impression that it's a fairly traditional approach, and that unfortunately the scabies piece of the puzzle has been missing. Rheumatic fever prevalence is about 4% in Pacific Islands, much lower prevalence in other ethnic groups. The rheumatic fever prevention program is focused on antibiotic treatment, sore throats. The epidemiology is not strongly supportive of it. The first scabies study showed a much higher than expected prevalence. So, I think my impression from some of the country studies is that unless you really do a prevalence study survey with a good definition of what scabies is, training clinicians, we may not appreciate how much scabies is out there. And certainly it was surprising to us to see so much in New Zealand. So thank you very much.